You ever see a Lamborghini parked outside in a quiet neighborhood and just know something's about to go sideways? Yeah, picture this. The car's shining under the garage lights, total perfection, and right next to it are two dark silhouettes, a mother and her son, all puffed up with self-importance and plans that reek of arrogance and entitlement. That's where my story begins, with a stupid, petty power play, the kind of mess you think you left behind in high school, except this time, it comes at you wearing business casual and a smile that could curdle milk. Their world was built on threats, on controlling everything, on making the rest of us feel small, but you know what? I've faced tougher than that. I've been shot at in 3 different countries. I wasn't about to let them steal my peace or my car without a fight. My name's Michael Harrison, I'm 52, and after 25 years serving in the Army, I thought I'd finally found my little slice of heaven in Maple Grovia neighborhood. So peaceful, I could hear the leaves rustle while I worked on my garden, got to do a little photography, and just, breathed. That lasted about 10 minutes, give or take, until Karen Peterson set her sights on me. Karen was the HOA president, 45, single mom, professional accountant for the real estate company, and an absolute nightmare in yoga pants. She ran this place like she was the mayor of a small country, barking about paint colors, lawn heights, fence regulations, but honestly, none of it really bothered me at first. I mean, people like that usually burn out, right? But Karen? She just kept going. First week, I get her email subject line, violation notice. Apparently, parking my own car in my own driveway was against the rules. She says I violated section 4.7, whatever that means, and gives me 72 hours to comply, or else. I laugh, respond politely, point out it's my property and my boundaries. She hits back within the hour now. I've got a $500 fine for argumentative attitude. That's when I knew I was in for a ride. So I started doing what I always do when the situation smells off. I documented everything. Screenshots, photos, every passive-aggressive email if she sneezed in my direction, I had on record. A week later, she blasts out an emergency HOA meeting subject line. Urgent. Community standards under threat. I show up just to see what brand of crazy she's peddling, and it's literally 4 people in a room. Most of them just want to get home before their dinner gets cold. Karen, though, is on a roll. She's got a blown-up picture of my car on an easel like she's pitching a criminal case. Luxury vehicles threaten our property values, she declares, and suddenly, there's a new rule. No car worth over $100,000 allowed outside. Passed by a grand total of 4 out of 30 households. I sat there, recording the whole circus, waiting for the real show to start. Week 3, she brings in the cops. I'm in my workshop when I hear car, doors look out, and there's Karen, arms crossed, cops in tow. Officer Rodriguez was cool. Checked my papers, said, "Beautiful car, sir. My dad was obsessed with Italian sports cars. No issues, totally legal." But Karen? She's not done. She comes to my door, voice shaking with anger, tells me she runs this place and that I better get in line. Later that night, she goes on the Neighborhood app, posting about security concerns, ranting about how my car is a magnet for crime, asking if people want Maple Grove to be a target. Some neighbors support her, some tell her to calm down, and the comments section turns into a battleground. Then, the twist. Her son Brady, about 17, mouthy, thinks he's a TikTok star, shows up in my driveway with his buddies. It's almost midnight. They're shining flashlights, live streaming to hundreds of viewers. "This old guy's car is probably stolen me, Mom says so." They want proof. I step outside and tell them to scram, but Brady keeps filming, acting like he's an undercover detective. They're calling me a criminal, trying to get a reaction, but I stay cool, call 911, let the law handle it. The kids run when the cops show up, but not before Brady shouts, "My mom's going to make sure you're gone." What they didn't know, I'd installed security cameras everywhere. Karen UPS the ante next week. Certified letter from some legal firm. I'm being sued for $10,000 for diminishing property values and damaging community reputation. I get a call from my insurance company. 2, they want to verify my car's not stolen because Karen's filed a report. It's insane, right? But the absolute peak was that Saturday Karen and Brady roll up together. She's waving some HOA paperwork, demanding I hand over my car for a community auction. She's dead serious. Neighbors start watching from their porches. I stand up, coffee in hand, and say, "Karen, you have no legal right to take my property." None. She tries to bluff her way through it, threatens to have it towed, all in front of an audience. That's when I decide I'm done playing defense. I call up Sarah Martinez, my old Army buddy turned lawyer, send her every scrap of evidence I've got. She digs into HOA records, and let me tell you, Karen fed up to her neck in dirty tricks, changing rules without votes, pocketing HOA funds to pay off her credit cards, you name it. But the bombshell? Turns out, my family owns the whole development. Karen's been pretending to run the place when all she's got is smoke and mirrors. I've got the deed, the contract with Riverside Management, and proof she's got no authority at all. Here's where the plot thickens. Tom Peterson Cairns exculls me out of the blue. Says he saw what's happening, wants to help. We meet up, and he tells me she did the same thing to him for 15 years, micromanaging, threats, keeping files on everyone. He's got messages, proof she's been harassing people for years. Meanwhile, another buddy from my Army days runs check on Brady. Kid's got a history, juvenile records for theft and property damage that Karen kept hidden. Now I've got everything. Legal, financial, personal. The full arsenal. We prep for the big showdown at the next HOA meeting. Sarah's got the evidence ready. I've got the deed. Tom's got his story. And half the neighborhood is ready to explode. Karen comes in all smug. Brady's live streaming again, thinking this is her victory lap. She gives her big speech about community values, how I'm the problem. I let her finish, then stand up, drop the truth. I'm not just a homeowner, I own the land you all live on, and Karen's been running a scam. You could feel the air change. Sarah projects the bank statements, shows the embezzlement, the fraudulent rules, the harassment. Neighbors start telling their own stories, being fined for speaking Spanish, for flying an American flag, for having the wrong color mailbox. Even Tom stands up, lays out how Karen ruined his life with false police reports and intimidation. When I look at Brady, he's pale, shaking. I lay out his online harassment, the lies he spread about me. Then the cops walk in, just as planned, and take Karen away in cuffs, charges for embezzlement, harassment, false police reports. Brady's taken for his own juvenile violations. The room is dead silent, then erupts in applause when I propose a new, transparent HOA run by the residents, not by bullies. Everybody votes yes. 3 months later, Karen's been sentenced to probation, ordered to pay back what she stole, banned from community boards for years. Brady, believe it or not, turns things around after his sentence. He works at an animal shelter, gets counseling for cyberbullying, and even apologizes to me face to face. We talk sometimes. Now's into woodworking, wants to go to college for vet school. Go figure. The neighborhood transforms. Mrs. Hernandez gets elected as president. Tom becomes treasurer, and suddenly, HOA meetings are about gardens and bake sales instead of fines and threats. My yellow Lamborghini? It's still in the driveway, but now the kids come over every Saturday for a car wash and stories about my Army days. Parents bring donuts, we hang out, and the place feels alive again. The new charter's clear. No more discrimination. Every big rule needs a real vote, full financial transparency, and nobody gets to play dictator. Funny thing, what started as a battle over a stupid car turned into a lesson for all of us about standing up to bullies, about the difference between leadership and control, and about how easy it is for a community to go bad when the wrong people get power. These days, when the garage lights catch that Lamborghini just right, it doesn't look like a symbol of wealth anymore. It looks like proof that sometimes, when you fight for what's right with facts, with courage, with a little help from your friends, you can change everything, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. So, let me ask you, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? Ever dealt with a bully who thought the rules didn't apply to them? I want to hear your stories, your opinions, your sense of what's fair and what's just. Because I'm telling you, real community isn't about who's got the shiniest car. It's about who's got the guts to stand up for each other when it matters. You know what I mean?